Good evening, everyone, and welcome. It is time to do a bit more spooky games again, since we had a lot of pew pew bang bang over the last weeks, and so doing something different. And I was like, okay, don't know if I have like a lot of survival horror right now lined up, and I didn't want to do a lot of shooting. And I thought the Dominus collection is coming. Mine is, on its way soonish, so how about, and I will definitely play Dawn of Sorrow in that, so I was like, let's just start with the first one. So let's welcome to Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. Probably the best Game Boy Advance Castlevania there is, at least on the Advance. New game. How should we call ourselves? Let's just do the simple one. Let's just go. Well then. I mean, I have to give him credit for that. Like, if you have the choice to give yourself any other cover name you can go, misspelling of your own name in Japanese is a bold move. It is one hell of a bold move. Yeah, like right here, it's like, sorry, man. So I just wanted to watch the eclipse, and then you're like, nope, I've been added up in Dracula's castle. Whoops. That's shit. Yeah, inside the solar eclipse. That is truly a bad fate. An enemy. Why would I have such a power? You have it now. Deal with it. We have a knife. And we have a jump. Everything we need. Hello Claire, welcome to the spooky zombie killing simulator with the soul absorption powers. How are you doing? A bit. Because actually when you start out with that, look at this, better defense already. I would say, okay, personally, I think Dawn of Sorrow is better, but that's like, it's not hard. It's like, okay, hey, look, we are making this basically the same game with a more powerful hardware. But that's like more of an, you know, they don't really give each other a lot, in my opinion. I still like it a bit more overall, but that's, yeah, it depends. They're both really good games. Like I would generally say, like, if you look at Castlevania titles, you generally are looking into you're generally looking at basically the three best ones being, you know, of the newer ones. Oh god, Bloodstained is just bad. Let's just be real here. And I do not understand why people like it so much. I mean, I'd say the three best, non-linear Castlevania games. And I mean, this is probably the most unhot take. Dawn of Sorrow has a good art style, in my opinion. Tasty meat. I mean, honestly, Aria already had that. It's just, okay, wait. The pixel art was just rougher overall. In-game it definitely is, in-game it is mostly just, you know... Aria... At least in the Japanese release, they have the same as as with Aria. This was changed by Konami for the Western release for some reason. Don't throw your fucking head. Oh yeah, right. We have the most important ability. Now nothing can stop us. Woo! Okay. Don't forget to get the cape. More defense. I kinda like that it now shows you if you had the soul already. So... there we go. Huh, then I'm misremembering. Anyway, time for our best boss. And this is why we get... There we go. And as usual, you still hit the orb. Well, you go into it. That was fast. Honestly, generally I would say, yeah, it's pretty fast. I would say, I mean, Dawn still takes a bit more, but yeah. I mean, maybe I'm biased because, you know, I kind of played Dawn first, but like, I still think both are very, very good. This is less, you know... This is less on, okay, who's better? Like, the three best, you know, Castlevania games in terms of the open world ones are just Symphony of the Night, Aria of Sorrow, Dawn of Sorrow. There is no competition in that regard. Like, everyone who says different, I do not know what you have smoked. This isn't saying even, you know, the other games are bad. Like, I mean, I know all of you want me to play all of Ecclesia, and let me tell you, before we get to Dawn of Sorrow, I will definitely do that. Like, this is basically on the... on the agenda big time. Oh, can't hit them yet. From what I heard, it's good, but, you know, not as good. That's the thing. A lot of the DS and a lot of the DS Castlevanias are generally pretty good. It's more like, oh hey, Symphony of the Night is great. We're not going to make these types of games anymore on the main consoles though, because 2D is out for some reason, and I'm like, you know what I just remembered? And probably at some point we should get to that. Because I definitely need to get my because I definitely need to get it on Steam. But like, nice. We definitely want to equip that one. Oh, we need to equip it first here, and I really got to that one. Oh yeah. I mean, you know what the irony about this one is? You know, here's the thing. There was a 2.5D Castlevania, and from what I remember, it was actually pretty well received. And then I had another realization that is just Konami really just fucked over the one dev that really could have carried that franchise forward. So remember, yeah, that one was solid for a 3DS game, and they ported it to PC. So, you know, if it's on sale or, you know, someone else gives me a, let's go do lots of Shadow, I guess. Ever thought about how weird it is that Mercury seems like one of the basically the last good 2.5D developer in terms of big games, you know? Yeah, fair. I mean, you know what the sad part about this is? It's not that, like, other companies don't dabble in that. It's just... Let me put it like this. One thing I realized over a while now is the fact that the video game market is fucked to a degree, but not in the sense of, the typical, oh hey, everything is dying and such. Like, currently it is deflating. It's not that bad. But what also is just the case, in my opinion, if you look at everything, then that yes, give me rapier. Yeah, we should go to the left and then down. It's just the fact that people, people suck. But, like, people rather complain than actually, fix a game. Or, okay, let me put it like this. The current state of discourse about video games, I feel, really is driving the fact that a lot of companies who generally try to do, the things that people say they should do, just don't get rewarded. And I feel like people are really kind of not doing themselves a favor when they just keep demanding games. And then, like, nothing happens. Like, this is the thing with big companies, right? To a degree, money just talks. And people always say, vote with your wallet and shit. And, like, why I would say that's a bit, naive to think like that. I would also say it does count to a degree that, you should actually, if you want to see more things, you should buy them. But there's an inherent thing going on, I feel, that people pretend a lot of things aren't happening, as if the discourse is just living in its own little world, and then gets confused when they, when reality just happens. Or rather, they just keep living in their own little world and really hate when reality happens. As in, oh god, do I really need to get down there for the safe for now? Well, sometimes I'm just mixing up those. Like, here's the thing. Nintendo's generally, like, also the only company that can keep making 2D games. Because, like, it's the only company... It is, but, like... Ooh, nice, I have another one. Okay, wait. Yeah. Okay, I can't get there. Now I'm just blind. God. Hey. Can I? No. I guess we're starting from here again. Well, that sucks. Yeah, people just don't have any idea when it comes to stuff like also design and shit, but that's not even the point I want to make. The point I want to make is just people like even in you know, even when it comes to higher stuff. I mean, for example, a good example, in my opinion, is, you know, what I observed recently is the whole, you know, Split Fiction has been released. And everyone was like, oh, this game is great. And then followed up by, wow, yeah, you could learn so much from this. And I just sit there being like, have you all forgotten? Wow, I have actually more luck now. Nice. I generally have to ask people, do you literally forgot that, you know, EA has keep making these games for a decade now? Like, I'm sorry. They have one of the best lineups in terms of single-player games over the last years. But every time one of them comes around, you're like, oh shit, why aren't they doing this more? And I just sit there being like, they do. Like, when it comes to the fact that everyone's like, oh, they just make live service games now. Like, they have two. One is already going for a decade. Let's just not forget that part. And the other one is only getting installment now. Like, that's it. Meanwhile, they have been supporting, like, they've been supporting a lot of indie studios through the Aria Origins program. Like, there are constantly a lot of games where everyone's like, holy shit, this is amazing. You know, until, and then they just completely forget, whoops, why haven't they done more of that? They do. But at some point, you do need to ask the question: why are they not doing more of this? And the answer is usually, have you looked at the sales numbers? Like, I'm sorry, big corpos suck. But what do people expect when they just keep going with, you know, they should be doing more of that, and then they're like, well, this thing didn't sell, even though everyone told us they wanted exactly that, and then. I just have to question at some point, do people realize that they, you know, when they like a game, they maybe should invest some money into it? Oh, why aren't they doing what Dead Space? Well, guess what happened to the remake, no matter how good it was? I mean, the thing why they keep doing the Haze-like games is clear. They, you know, people actually buy them. I mean, the thing is, I can almost guarantee you they are going to make a second one, because they don't seem to be actually that much onto, you know, just abandoning the series. Their current endeavor clearly means, oh hey, we need to get more single-player games out, not less. And I do agree with that. Like, you know, the fucking industry is currently very unhealthy. A lot is overloaded, a lot is cannibalizing. Like, probably. I mean, I'm even surprised that they haven't cancelled it yet. So, you know, you know what? I will. Yeah, it's like, you know, Motive. Hey, can you make a game? Motive, like, okay, sure. We just need some time. And they're sure. And then, you know, meanwhile the MCU is crashing and burning. Then again, who knows? Maybe this is like the whole. Let me put it like this. Every character can have their, you know, their big thing, independent of the main franchise. It just needs to be A, good, and B, it needs to be a popular character. Like, you can make like the best show on the planet, or movie or game, and probably a lot of people would be like, oh hey, this is good, and yeah, it probably is. But depending on how popular something is, really decides in the end if they will actually sell, you know? Yeah, fair. I mean, you know what the biggest problem of the MCU is? It's too samey. Yeah, I mean, the last central story arc went up in sexual assault allegations. So, you know, looking good. I mean, okay, yes, Doctor Doom is coming, and I mean, there is basically a Galactus. I mean, honestly, that's the irony, you know. I think that Fantastic Four movie generally looked pretty good. I mean, and you know what? It's not the dumbest idea. They definitely went for something that is just more interesting, actually. Like, here's the thing. More people know Doctor Doom. And generally, I will say Doctor Doom is just more interesting and just as a villain overall. I get, you know... The big problem they just had was, you know, the movies also just got too samey. They treated this as a machine that couldn't fail. I'd say Doom is a great character. Like, he has some very unique styles. I mean, honestly, I don't dislike the casting overall. It's not bad. Like, this is also probably because I actually read, when it comes to comics, I didn't read a lot. I did read old, Fantastic Four once, though, and generally liked that. This is why, you know, when I saw the Fantastic Four trailer, I was generally, oh, hey, this is looking good. But also, I need to be pretty clear here about one thing. Oh god, cutscene. A missionary. Oh, a man on a mission. He's There's way too many people's emotional support fascist. Who do you mean now? Honestly, I think that's probably the part why I do like Doom as much. He genuinely cares. Like, Doom is like this interesting mixture of just a broken man, but then also just genuinely human in a lot of ways. Like, I think the biggest problem of him in the best stories of him is just him meaning well, but just literally over-engineering the whole fucking problem. Like, there's a whole story about the Fantastic Four just being in a town, and they're normal again and they don't have powers, and they're like, what is going on? And only later they realize they're actually just tiny robots. Because, okay, was it the Human Torch or the Thing? I think it was the Thing, because the daughter of Doom just wanted to have a normal life with the Thing. So he literally built a miniature country in his castle and put the Fantastic Four inside of machines where they were asleep, but they lived through the puppets. Because he's like, hey, I want them to have a good life, but these are also his family, so I do not want to, separate them. In the end, they were like, what the fuck were you thinking? Like, yes, it solved the problem, but also like, what the fuck, Doom? That's the thing I like about him. And it is, and you see why I like the guy, not only that, there are a lot of times where like there's literally a world-ending disaster and he's just straight up helping. And when people are like, can we trust you? And he's like, the world is at stake. I do not care what you think about me. The world is at stake, and I will help you fix the problem. He's the ruler of a country, and you're like, and in a lot of occasions, it's like, yeah, he's technically a dictator. I mean, he's a monarch, basically, but also they generally like him because he genuinely cares for that country. He generally, he's like, okay, he's especially in when the original comics were written, this was still the Cold War, and he was like, no, these people deserve to, live free and not, either under the rule of, the West or the East. And he's a really good character if if people know what to write him for. And like, he has multiple times ascended to godhood because, a lot of people were like, shit, someone needs to take that place, and he was just like, I do it. And the thing is, he's evil, but also he's trustworthy, so a lot of people are like, yeah, you know what, I guess we can trust him with that. That's why I like him. And also, he's a guy behind the steel mask that outsmarts God, so like, you generally can root for him. It most certainly is Dracula's castle, because what else castle would be dislike? His true castle exists somewhere else. Actually, no, it's in Europe. We all saw the show. The gears have been destroyed. As well, in fact, in the world. Damn you, whistleblowers. This game is in 10 years from now, but by our current trajectory, maybe the Dracula's resurrection is earlier. What a nice guy. I don't think he's going to be evil at all. Oh, that's going in the next area. Just a good guy that wants to do good, obviously. Money! Oh well. Yeah. Oh, the chapel. Why are there ghosts in the chapel? This shouldn't be the case. I guess I should not go there yet. Hey, stargazing pineapple. we go. At least we have a level up. It's time to go up there again and get ourselves a better sword. And it really is just a rapier. It's called Basilard, but your standard dagger. Yeah. Okay, we have this shit done. Let's see, we can go down. Yeah. Like there's a save point down there actually. And there it is. Nice. Okay. But yeah. In general, I would say the biggest problem of the MCU is just that it doesn't have any focus anymore. It's too much, you know, the same all the time. And yeah, I think one of the reasons why Guardians of the Galaxy 3 actually still was a hit with people was the fact that the tone was different. Like, yeah. You had someone genuinely being angry for once. You had, oh, that's just a chimera. Let me just do this. I'm stupid. At this point I should just die, sorry. Yeah. Maybe I should use the rapier that has a bit more range. I die more than I should. I can basically hear Agonia laughing in the background because I just suck at it. Oh, come on, that is no bullshit. Nice. There we go. You can just brute force them to a degree. So, you know, oops. Yeah, that Fantastic Four movie, that feels like it has some, you know, its own energy again. It's definitely is not, you know, oh, we're just doing some setup for the next big one, because that's what they have become, you know. The big problem they have is just most of them have just become, oh hey, this is going to be the thing in the next big one. Can't you wait for that? And like a lot of people didn't. They simply were there for the movie, and then, you know, the movies were just like, nope. That also. I mean, they had one big one, but like, then also there's just a multitude of things you know, I could point out that are just a problem. I mean, yeah. Oh, totally. I love this dying sound. Whoa. I want a bigger sword. Oh, nice. I mean, that is, you know what? That is definitely one of the problems, but also just... Releases a lethal cat that runs full speed at enemies. You heard that? We're releasing a lethal cat. There are non-lethal cats. So don't worry, you don't kill them, they just turn into cats. Which is honestly very nice that they assure you that the witches are not dead. I mean, I get you. The biggest problem was just saying... They just carried on. Oh. Can I just point out the fact that I find it very, very funny that Alucard was just like, ah, shit, I need a Japanese code name. Aricado? You're like, is that racist? Like, did Alucard do racism with his name? It's just... Well, tough shit, Zoma, you have it. Honestly, I always love that every time, you know, a game releases, you know, especially in the USA, they're like, oh yeah, your powers might be dark, but they're not evil. And I just sit here being like, it is so funny how they have to reassure that. Like, you know, those are just like normal concepts in like everywhere else of the world, you know. Look, if the fact that Genya Arikado is very obvious a white European man didn't tip anybody off, it's clear nothing off limits for him. You know what? Maybe Alucard just gets away with it because, you know, he's just that handsome. Who knows? I mean, have you seen Castlevania Nocturne? The guy just becomes more and more androgynous when time passes on. It just like, honestly, force femme Alucard. And then the explanation just like, I just want to try being a girl for a while. And no one would bat an eye at this point. It's Alucard. But yeah, the whole... No, hey, dark doesn't mean evil. It's just like...
Gentle darkness.
Okay, you know what? Now you really inserted yourself into the thing and you have to talk about it. You know?
No.
Nah. Watch watch Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. It's actually really good. You know, the Japanese version. It's genuinely really good. But, yeah. In the context of it kind of makes sense to bring up. I mean, yeah, they kind of... You know what the weirdest part about this is? They really made him an exchange student and left everything unchanged. Like, oh yeah, that Shrine Maiden is my childhood friend. You're an exchange student, how? Anyway. They really just didn't want to be like, oh yeah, the protagonist is now Japanese. And you're like, wow, localization team, that is racist, actually. He's a serial exchange student. No way, he did not look like a bad... Yeah, if people don't look like bad guy, how can they be evil? Yeah. But to wrap it up, I think the biggest problem the MCU right now has is just identity. Like, ironically, I would say, the biggest problem it just has is simply never asking the question, why are we still here? And ironically, the one movie that really got popular still, what happened? That question never had to be asked, because it turns out when, the reason for why why are you still here just barges through your door, almost kills your best friend, and then turns out to be a huge, eugenics shithead. You don't really need a lot of reason to, other than just, fuck it, I'm going to smash that guy's face in. And Star-Lord did exactly that. He literally just got really angry and smashed the guy's face in. This movie was satisfying because it gave people a reason, like, oh, why are we still here? Look, there are more shitheads out in the universe. No. And they're bad, and Star-Lord's gonna punch them in the face. What do we have here? Oh, yeah. Ah, fuck. Fair point. Yeah, that's the thing. There was a reason to do it. There was a good way to do it, and they did that. Meanwhile, basically every other Ooh, I had a better weapon all the time. The fuck? Oh yeah. No, Yoko. Yeah. And similarly, all the other movies were just like just going on. No. Fuck. I really can't position myself well right now. Ugh. Gesundheit. So yeah, a lot of them just missed identities. It was just like, oh, here's the next bad villain and shit is going, brewing up to something, and you're like, what is it? And it was just incoherent. It was just more movies all the time. And frankly, if you just keep making more movies and not deal with the whole have the movies be in itself coherent, because like that's also a big thing why, you know, I would say despite other problems, I think the four movies probably still was more popular than most people expected. Because at least it was, you know, about something, even though yeah, I mean, it just, you know, it stayed a bit more. I think the previous from that movie was, yeah, it was so clearly rushed. Like, you know, oh, hey, let's talk about gods. And then they're like, how? There we go. Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest problem. You're like, oh, also just the whole, hey, there's someone just, like, stealing children. And, like, it was so clearly rushed. Oh, yeah, the military guy, he's just there. Shut your hood, Grump. Oh yeah, right. The army just sends one guy in. Just like, okay. I just walked into this castle. That was rude. Yeah. You just meet the guy in a room and he's like, I'm gonna do a capitalism. It's just... yeah. He's just there to do capitalism. That's it. Should do this. Yeah, I shouldn't do this. I should go and save first. Spanking that Catobleepus. Catobleepuses are funny.
Yes.
They're great monsters to, I summoned the Agonia again.
Also, I'm bored with farming pollen.
Yeah. Oh yeah, if you have monsters that are wilds, farm your ephemeral blossoms today. Capcom might patch it tomorrow because no fun allowed. Fuck you. I just want to, oh, right, there's a secret room. Just wanted to remind people, if you have Monster Hunter Wilds, yeah. Melon! Yeah, be sure to get your blossoms in today because, again, fixing the game stability, fixing the fact that skills are literally broken, nah. We should remove that thing that actually allows people to skip, you know, our absolute unholy grind. Yes, priorities. I generally do not have any compassion here. Like, this is, like, even if, you know, the problem is, like, even if you say, oh, but it's just so that the game should be played as intended. Yeah, but that sucks. And the only reason they keep doing that is because people are complacent. Anyway.
Can't you kill the caterpillars?
I could, but I don't care, like.
Aww. Well, it's so easy to kill.
I know, let's just kill it again. Oh, hi. I spanked it.
I like caterpillars.
I know you like caterpillars.
Especially at least 2.
Yeah. I mean, that's actually one of the more... It is again one of those things about, you know, people are like, oh, where people say, you know, D&D is not that interesting, when, you know, it's more like a lot of the stuff about D&D, you know, it makes it interesting, is not on the internet, because caterpillars are interesting, because they always come in pairs, and they always rot everything around them. That's like... You know, it just kind of makes them prime targets for everything, basically. Because you don't want, you know, the rotting cows with death lasers around. But also... You
don't want to get up there?
What? I can't get up there.
You can shove the box down.
Oh, right, You're very much right. Why didn't I think about that?
I don't know. You're still thinking with portals, not with boxes?
Yes, I'm still thinking with portals, not with boxes. You are very much right about that part. They always come in pairs. It's the broadsword. I almost missed the chain whip? No! That's not a chain whip. It's the broadsword. That is worse than the hammer. But... better attack. I'd say. But also not really.
If you would jump more before attacking, you would have more control.
Nah, I think the chain whip was somewhere else. I know the chain whip is important. Oh.
You really like to tank everything in this game, huh?
You know what? I just kind of suck right now. Probably because I'm just not feeling that well.
Well, then this might kill you.
Maybe. Maybe. There's a save point over there.
Or down there.
I can't get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe, probably there to the left there is one, so. Oh, come on! It should have been dead.
No.
At least I still have a melon.
Not when you die.
What are you laughing at? This is not funny.
It's not? Your stream
isn't.
should be funny.
I mean, I guess it can be funny for some, but then you are just a monster. Yes, exactly. You like me suffering.
No, you could have just left, but...
What? I will eat that melon. No. There we go.
By the way, why are you playing melee only?
I'm not.
You literally did it in response, so yes.
I did use it before. It's not funny when I suffer.
Is Oops the Pun Show funny?
No, you're not going to go with Oops die Pan Show.
Yes, I will.
Haha, das ist so lustig, wenn dieses Home-Video passiert.
Ja.
Wir brauchen unnützes Kommentare.
Ja.
This is the most German section of the stream. Anyway, we were actually talking about movies.
I thought we were talking about Catobleepers, but okay.
We were also talking about Catobleepers because there was a Catobleepers.
Yeah, even though it looked like a Gorgon. At least one version of Gorgon. Not the historical Gorgon.
Yeah, I mean the thing is that the Catobleepers, at least in D&D, is how should I put it in the best way? They're kind of like, again, if you kill one of them, the other one will do a horrifying scream that just sucks out your life, basically.
Yeah, until it dies from stagnation.
This is where you've opened your shop, yes. Bye. Don't need Castle Map 2. Should I? No, I don't have the money even. Normal casual clothing. It's literally his... Zoma's clothing isn't casual. Just saying.
True. But yeah, it's interesting using ketchup papers in that way. Or just like party of adventurers. Fought 2, 1 is left. Now the village is in danger. You arrive.
Yeah. Just innocent clothes. It's just like the army sends literally one black guy and he's like, no, I'm gonna open a shop now. I bailed on my mission. And she's just like, he looks scary. Like, what is the problem with all of you? He has exactly one customer. I wonder where I need to go next. Yeah, to the right there. Technically, I think that's actually where it keeps going.
I don't know, which bosses did you clear yet?
I just killed the big armor.
Bosses.
I killed the armor, I killed the manticore, I killed the big skeleton.
Should be all.
Then let's go there.
Roughly the right direction. And I presume you're not trying to beat this game in one sitting, right?
Can you even?
You could.
I don't think I can in 3 hours. I would need to speedrun a fuck ton.
You ask if you could.
Do you think I could?
You could, but I don't think...
Do I think I could?
Yeah, but not now.
Yeah. Oh well. But yeah, where was I?
Marvel.
What?
I think you were talking about Marvel.
Yeah, that the movies just lacked their own identity. It's just like there were movies to make movies, you know? The big problem is what I will keep repeating myself here. I think the strength of the MCU was the fact that the first, you know, like if you return to the first Phase movies, they're great. I don't think we need to we need to argue about that. Like, oh, they're not the best movies of all time, you know, but like, you know, you saw Iron Man, and you were like, I get this guy, you know, he might be
stupid.
You know, he might be a bit of an egomaniac, he might be rich, and he might be interwoven with the, you know, military-industrial complex. But, you know, you could understand Tony Stark. He was still very well played, and, you know, the fact that, you know, it was just a good story about the fact that he woke up and realized, wow, the world I am living in is fucked up. Like, that's his whole thing, you know? He basically built an armor to escape. And a reactor to be like, oh hey, we can just create limitless energy. And all his business partners interested in, I want that armor in some form. I just want, you know, he just wanted to make more money. And all his subsequent problems in 2 are also like, okay, you know what's ironic in the hindsight of Iron Man 2? Like, they got definitely forced to put Elon Musk into the movie because the guy paid a lot of money just to be seen in a good light and be, you know, associated with Iron Man. But it's even funnier to think about the fact that Hammer Industries, you know, in hindsight, is such a fucking parody of Tesla. Like, just think about it. The owner is a shithead who clearly just wants to be Tony Stark, like fucking desperately, and puts a lot of money into that, and also constantly tries to micromanage because he actually thinks he is smarter than everyone else. Like, in hindsight of, you know, Elon Musk coming and basically telling everyone, oh no, shit, yeah, exactly. But also, you know, he was just like, oh, he wanted to be in a movie. That's one thing. But yeah, I think one of the key things is just Hammer is so hilarious because in the movie, you know, he's like, he wants an... Oh. Sorry, story time. Rude Sommer. He just goes along with it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he just felt he had to, and this vibing. Yep. Okay, but yeah, the interesting part is, like, Hammer is just so obsessed with, you know, basically stealing the Iron Man suit that he just risks, like, everything for it, for the money. And I think one of the scenes that, in hindsight, you know, always stuck with me is just, that shows his incompetence, is just the fact that he can't actually think about the own things he produces. Because, yeah, he hires an evil guy, and that evil guy clearly made drones because, you know, he could control them. But also, like, ever thought about the fact that he wants to sell shit to the military? And his first thing about seeing the prototype from, you know, I think Whiplash was it, is like, why isn't there an Iron Man suit? I want Iron Man suits, and, you know, throwing a tantrum until Whiplash is like, drones are better. And he's right. Like, ever thought about that?
Until Iron Man drones become a thing.
Yeah, that's a thing. Tony just makes drones. Honestly, his drones actually look pretty cool. Like, that is actually just such a funny thing if you think about it. Like, Whiplash is right. If you want to sell something to the military, yeah, he was. And like, the thing is, it's ironic to think about the fact that, again, this is why Iron Man is actually, Iron Man 1 to 3 are good movies, because you can clearly see how they develop, and most importantly, you can clearly see how Tony's thought process is. Because in the first game, he's basically just there to, in the first movies, he's dealing with his own problems. Then he's like, okay, how can I just make this whole armor set more portable and better? And then he just realizes, hey, drone's good maybe. Because he just wants to be ahead of everything. Like, the thing is, Tony is a broken guy. Oh, by the way, they're throwing curry.
But why? It's perfectly good curry.
Yeah. Maybe it is very spicy and Soma's actually is too Western to survive it.
I thought Japanese curry was pretty mild.
It technically is.
But this is Dracula's castle, so maybe it's British curry.
I don't know if British curry is also mild as fuck. Oh no, the tail stole.
What about old British curry?
Also not really that.
Historically?
Yeah, because they kind of got it from, I mean, they miled it down already.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's just, again, one of the reasons why I think the original movies worked is you have someone like Tony who's just like, God, the world is bad, and someone needs to keep tabs. Like, I think that's probably the most interesting part about him. When it comes to the Avengers movies, Tony isn't like, the nice guy. He's the paranoid uncle. And like, understandably, like, he's in a position he hates. Ever thought about that? He doesn't want, he doesn't want to be Iron Man. But also, on one hand, he knows if this, he can't just give his fucking suit and powers to the military because, the military will just do war with them, period, and he doesn't want to do that. But on the other hand, whoops, there is a giant alien threat out there, and people will die if not someone is there. So yeah, Tony Stark is interesting. Thor is interesting. All of them are interesting. And then
There's biggest mystery of all.
What?
Why are they throwing curry? See, that's worth investigating.
That is actually worth investigating. Also, I don't want to do this whole section again.
You're playing really shit.
Yeah, I'm just in a bad. I'm just not well right now,
I know.
Ooh. Yes. You know what the saddest part about this is? Okay.
That was close.
What? Yeah.
You nearly rolled over my feet again.
I realized that halfway through that I should do that. First of all, I really, really expected them to actually do the whole with great power comes great responsibility with Tony Stark. That he's like, it would also fit his whole movie arc because, again, he's paranoid as shit. And maybe he's like, I can only really trust Spider-Man, that kid, but also, to say this in a sense of warning, as like, don't become me. And then they just kind of didn't do that, Which would have been like the perfect ending to him, just being like, realizing he's broken.
You mispositioned.
You're right.
You could have just stepped one small input to the right and you would be safe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's just like... It's just so funny because, again, he's just broken and like, that's a bad decision, Tony. And like, hell, even Spider-Man is like, that's a bad decision, Tony. And what happens? It was a bad decision.
I mean, you could have also just not used the weapon.
Or build it in the first place, but also he's like...
No, I mean Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Use it to spy on your friends. They will never know, but otherwise... teenager shit.
Yeah. All the moral dilemmas they could have done, they just didn't do, and it's like... God damn it, there's so much waste, but I think this is just what happened. They wasted potential. I mean, I love the wood golem animations, they're great.
True.
Yeah, it's like... I mean, it's so funny how they, like... do that, and... It's clearly a setup. No. They actually have not resolved... Okay, you know what? They technically have resolved it, but, it's just... The reason why is just so funny. Oh, with the, why, how's it called?
Can't you just duck?
Yeah.
You don't need range for them.
You're right. The X is really helping. Oh well. Oh well. But yeah, the problem is just the MCU just doesn't have a lot of identity right now, and that is what it's just holding back. Ironically, we just watched like the first episode of the new Daredevil show, and turns out, wow, if you actually have if you give characters time and have some stakes, it's actually kind of an enjoyable watch. I mean, I know you're screaming from the sideline. This isn't how was the guy called again?
Really?
I forgot it. Bullseye. Yeah, it's not Bullseye. You're just screaming from the sidelines. You're very, very emotional about this one.
Who wouldn't be? I mean, to be fair, still could have just been not Bullseye.
Yeah.
Maybe they just teased him or something.
I mean, it is Bullseye, but yeah, I think they will probably change how he behaves.
I mean, more like it could have been two people.
Could. But it's just tonally at least a lot different, and that's good.
I don't know. I've just seen signs of Bullseye and not enough Bullseye. Okay.
This is about Fisk and Daredevil, and you're
I don't care about Fisk. And Daredevil is only there so we can have Bullseye.
Number one Bullseye fan in the world.
Only that one movie?
I mean, it was one hell of a performance, and I can't lie about that. Oh yeah, right, they actually had a whole save point literally before the boss for some reason.
Because of you. Because you
Oh,
would have
shut
died.
up.
Be honest. You should be thankful to them.
I am thankful, but
they
also...
designed it specifically for people who play bad. Big Golem. Big Golem, go.
Shut up! I'm not playing bad, you're playing bad.
I'm not playing at all right now.
I mean, yes, but also... Please use your rage attacks. No! You can't make me do this!
Or at least use the melee attacks well. Okay?
What do you mean? I can just tank everything.
No, you can't. You're not playing a tank.
Not yet.
You're too weak.
No. Anyway, I can save here. See, I am making progress. I am good at this game. Now I can slide somewhere. Where was the slide?
There were several on your way here.
Yeah, but only one progresses. Anyway. Well, yeah. I mean, at least... I think the thing, also one of the reasons why I do like the new Daredevil show is the fact, you know, it actually has cinematography and artistic value. Like, hey, shit you see it doing that other shows don't do. It uses physical effects. It has one-shot camera shenanigans. I mean, it like doing that. They actually play around with light and shadow in a way that isn't just fucking dark. It's like, oh hey, look, it's two people talking in a room and we're making it interesting. Or the ending is just, hey, how about we just have different colored lighting to show the protagonist and his antagonist to underline their differences and how they are acting and such.
I mean, you could also just rewatch Lord of the Rings.
Girl, we just rewatched Lord of the Rings.
Yes, but we could do it again.
Actually, we haven't.
All those things you said are in there.
I mean, you also haven't rewatched The Hobbit in a while, so maybe we should do that.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Hobbit's movies are interesting because everyone hates them, and I'm just like, they're fine.
Yeah. The CGI is not that great.
Yeah, yes, but even then, like, here's the thing: the Hobbits still use more physical effects than most movies. Like, also, let's just be real here. The Hobbit, any Hobbit movie, would have been way worse, you know, if Peter Jackson wasn't working on it. I can guarantee you that. I know people like to blame him, you know, he was the director after all, but like, there's so much, you know, especially if you see the behind the scenes stuff, where you can clearly see they still cared. To ridiculous degrees, actually. Like, how they have a scene, you know, with the werebear, and they're like, okay, we need to make sure that people realize the guy is tall, like really, really tall. How do we do that? And they're like, okay, we have like prop weapon, we have one prop weapon that's like really big, and like one that is small that he uses. And then there was just shit like, you know, they go into set and then they suddenly just sit there being like, you know, the normal weapon is too small. And the normal axe is too small. Shit, we need a bigger axe. So he literally just shelled out extra money to pay a blacksmith that could forge them a bigger axe in 24 hours. Or, you know, things like you know, the black arrow that had been pulled forth some... One of the interesting things about that is that Peter Jackson actually hid it in like the whole set, because it was a physical set they still had. And never told any other actor than the, you know, the guy who was pulling it out in the last movie, where the arrow actually was. And it was just like... It was a clothing line. It just meshed into the background. No one knew where it was. And so, you know, when the scene came, you know, they shot the scene about, oh, where is the arrow even? We don't know. He just grabs it and pulls it out. And everyone was like, oh shit, it was here all the time. So like, yeah, genuine reactions just by, you know, hiding some information. And that's just neat. You know, it's all those little details that come together and like... Yeah, I can't hate the Hobbit movies. I kind of like them. They're still good movies. You know, they're made with heart, and Why is she called Persephone? I don't get it. Anyway. I thought... Oh, that's a new boss. Yeah, I knew one of them was a safe room still.
It's a very safe game.
It's a very safe game, yeah. I just fuck up most of the time because I suck. You didn't hear that?
I heard it.
Oh yeah, that's a great boss design, by the way.
When are you going to use the zombie officer ability?
I don't know.
Okay. It's reactive ability.
I suck.
I presume your reaction speed is still tarnished from Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah.
Everything says like, I'm going to attack you, I'm winding up. I'm at the top of winding up. I attack, maybe later, now.
If you can't, don't walk into the lighting. Oh, good advice. Thank you.
That's true. If you didn't walk into the lighting, it wouldn't have hit you.
I generally like this boss. Oh yeah, right. Now. Let's save though.
Are you feeling that unsafe?
I am feeling that unsafe, even though I have a big boost to my stats right now. I just want to keep my progress is what I do want to do.
That reminds me. You said you wanted to play Case of Kut someday.
Ah, yeah. I guess. I mean, why?
Why?
Why do you bring it up?
Because save Case of Kut.
Oh yeah. No, in case of Code, I can't save.
Well, if you play another mode, you can. If you play Caves of Kut, you should probably play how it's intended.
Yeah. Absolutely adore this background. This is like peak Game Boy Advance, Game Boy DS. Advance/DS background effects.
Not DS, no.
DS and DS also had similar ones.
Yeah, but DDS came later.
It
had
but
more power.
They did some similar stuff though.
Yeah, because they were uncreative and copied the Advance. basically.
They kind of made better advanced games, so grunting. It's worse. Yeah. You have to go all the way up the tower to get walk on water surfaces.
I mean, clouds are water.
They never use it for that, actually, yeah. But, well, I love the pixel art in this game. It's just beautiful. Like, I'm sorry, if someone comes at me and
If you can walk on water and you walk into a room full with shaved ice, can you walk on top of it without sinking?
I mean, ice is not water.
True. It's a rock.
Yes? Yes! But yeah, for everyone who doesn't know, in the chemical sense, ice is a rock. Now you know. And by the way, if you're wondering, yes, that makes water a type of lava. Enjoy. Look at those pixel mirror effects. That's always what I have a problem with when, you know, people are like, oh, hey, you know, like when indie games are out there, like, look at our wonderful pixel art game, and then it's like, it's not bad pixel art, but it's still weird that I think, I mean, I still think, you know, the Advance and DS Castlevania games just kind of did more with what they had, you know? They still had the whole, you know, when everything is down on a smaller monitor and, you know, on the CRTV it actually looks different and better and like,
Yeah. Another reason to play Case of Good. It's also pixel art.
Also, hi, bots. Bye, bot.
Bye. Funny thing though, a lot of drinks is so old now, I see people reacting to it.
It's like, oh, look at this old movie. God damn it, I hate it.
It's new content.
See, these, this is about the fact that I think Castlevania, you know, Aria of Sorrow, and you know the DS games look really good on CRT. Would really look good on CRTVs, and yeah, they would. Sorry,
do.
Persephone, you have to die. Sorry. Like that's the kind of pixel art I remember, you know. I think like I grew up with, and then like people are like, oh, look at this game looking how the games that, you know, we grew up with, and then it's like usually just not that, it's just something else.
Well, they more importantly need the blending of pixels.
Yeah.
But people are doing shaders for that, for different kinds of
Yeah.
CRTV pixel bleed.
I mean, it's...
It's Konami.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Konami even puts out these ports is just... You know, I mean, they want to get back into making games, which is like...
Yeah, pretty good.
They're pretty good, yeah. Oh no, not Lilith.
You're dying again.
Yeah. And whose fault is that? Correct, mine! You know what? I just don't want to deal with shit right now.
This would be fun when you actually play Case of Code someday.
I mean, by the way, she's naked.
Yeah?
But, this looks way hotter when she is smooshed together on a small screen. Just saying. I completely mix those up all the time.
Why? Jumping is jumping.
Yeah, but like, you know, hard.
No. You should save. Left to the save point.
I literally didn't see the guy.
Very broken. Are you going there?
Up there is 100% the save point.
Oh, you can try.
I will try.
Monster Hunter try.
That's better. It has lock. I mean, it really depends on the game, I would say, but, I mean, for example, I'd say the Monster Hunter games actually look pretty good. I mean, hell, they actually looked so good that, you know, one of them, oh.
You needed to do that. You just jump onto it. You know how to clear it safely.
Yes, but what if not?
Then you die. Because you're back. And as usual, it wasn't a save point.
I really
because it isn't a save pointer. No.
Yeah, it isn't hard, Claire, I know. I just suck in a very special way today. Okay?
Yeah, you're full of stress.
You need to spoil that.
If the stress is spoiled, is it gone now?
I don't know.
Good. That means it's Schrödinger's stress. And you summoned me.
No, you just came because I said Catoblepus.
You summoned me.
I did not. I did not summon you. Stop. God. Okay, we need to go somewhere. And I know where. Exactly where to go. You know what? This is all planned. I just want to make you all feel tense. Ha 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 ha. I am the smartest person alive. Ah well, but yeah, it's... You know what I wanted to actually get back to is the Iron Man game might be overdue, but like if they actually catch the stuff that made the first the first Iron Man movies good, it might be a hit. The thing is, people still like Iron Man. They just want good stuff with it again. And yeah, to go back to the original topic. What I always find interesting is that we talk about, oh hey, why isn't a company doing X games anymore? And the answer is usually they do. You all are just not buying them.
Didn't we have the topic an hour ago?
I brought it up, but I never finished it.
Yeah, because you're always saying the same thing over and over again.
It's like... I try to, okay? I have 500 HP now, haha. Yeah, like, I don't know how many things I have to hear of. Oh, why is that not? Why are they not making more interesting games? It's like the only company that really that keeps doing things to a degree is Sega, because for some reason the Ryuga Gotoku games generally sell, which is like it's nice to see that, but also it's just like kind of depressing that people just don't buy other games. We are sitting on 3. Like, don't worry about the whole beating thing. I mean, there are too many.
True. Also, they can ask to play if you played 0.
Yeah, not many are as good as you. From what I heard, Judgment is still really good, but yeah. A series that also basically is dead now because...
Which series?
Judgment.
Because?
Okay, basically, they got a famous actor on board for 2 games. But his agency basically pulled him out because they realized what they didn't tell the agency, what the actor actually knew about. He's playing a bit of a goofy guy that does goofy things.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he's basically down on his luck cop, but also you can whack people and it you know, go in silly outfits, and they're just like, no, this is ruining the image of our actor, because Japan has it's just Japan is a depressing country at times, you know.
Most of the time.
Yeah. And so now they're just like, nope, no more games with him.
Are you shooting at air?
There's a riding horse.
Yeah, but it's not loaded yet. Come on.
I mean, that's also why they keep getting, you know, pretty high-profile people for, you know, the Yakuza games, because there it's more like...
Hit the wall, just so you know, in case you actually wanted to check that.
I wanted to hit it, and I'm pretty sure...
You moved away before anything connected.
Oh well. But yeah, a lot of companies just get told make those games, and then when they do make those games, people are like, it's nice you made it, but fuck you. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, it was kind of absurd to see all the takes about, oh, why did you know, Dragon Age the Veilguard fail? But also, what is worse for me is the fact that there were so many people who are like, they're not gonna make them anymore, and the devs don't deserve that. And then I just sit there being like, you know, if you think this game was good and they don't deserve that, why didn't you fucking buy it? Like, at some point we need to talk about the fact that people just don't, you know, they want games, you know, they want them to exist, but they don't want to spend money on them.
Well, you have to take into account that the economy is getting worse for people.
Oh, yes, especially in USA. Fair point.
So A, less money to buy shit, and B, less time to enjoy shit.
Yeah.
It's much easier to watch someone else play a game you would have liked.
Yeah, but also, I need to... Yeah, I mean, you're completely right. But also, I need to point out... I mean, it sold half of it. They looked for 3 million. That's not hard to get, considering how many people technically like that genre. And apparently also are now like, oh, this game looked good. Then why didn't you buy it at that time? And now, like, you know, I know there's always the thing with the economy is bad, but here's the thing.
Interesting. It's a factor.
It's a factor, but you know what? You know what probably rather is the thing, to the big degree? A lot of people just don't want to spend money. Because the irony is, if you look at, for example, right now, Monster Hunter Wilds, that game is selling insanely well, and it's broken. And it's also the weakest Monster Hunter to date, and people gaslight themselves into saying you should buy it. And I'm just sitting here being like, okay, why can't you people plan around buying games? Or have like a bit of budget. Like, I think people are just generally bad at budgeting shit. Because we do not have a lot of money, and even I can budget, like, buying Monster Hunter twice. It's not hard. Similarly, I'm generally looking now, to into maybe playing Split Fiction for Gonia, because, that actually looked good. And it's a co-op game.
I haven't seen it yet, so I can.
It's the one with the 2 authors.
Oh, that one.
That one, yeah, it's out. And apparently really good. But also, what's good about it?
Still haven't seen much gameplay of it in the first place. Except, like...
It's a linear co-op third-person platformer, basically.
Yeah, probably.
You know what? This isn't even on them. Like, that's the thing. A lot of people always go to, company bad, but, like, the irony is, if you think about it, a lot of times it's just like, even when games are... I mean, even if games are in expected, expected... how should I put it in the best way?
Expected sales.
The expected sales are just relatively low. Like, here's the thing. 3 million is not a lot for, a title, where people talked about so much.
Wow.
It's not a lot.
There are 2 things I remember about Vega.
And
I like what the game director said.
Mm-hmm.
And B, it looked mid.
What?
B, it looked mid.
Yeah, everyone probably heard this.
It has a weird cinematic opening.
Yeah.
And even though she said she liked Final Fantasy 12 and the whole gambit system and stuff, didn't see anything of similar design in the game. I saw that there are very little skills. I liked how they designed the skill tree, from what I heard. But that's not enough for me to buy the game.
Yeah, but I mean, you were also just kind of occupied with a different game, but yeah.
Also, yes, but...
Also, keep in mind, we kind of wanted to play through,
Yes?
How's it called? The other Dragon Age games before that.
Doesn't matter. It's simply not a game that interests me. I think they had a great chance, and it could have been a lot better than what it is. Probably characters are great again. That's what those kinds of games are good at.
Yeah.
But for me, that's not enough.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the considering how much this game was stuck in limbo, it's kind of impressive that,
Don't know, don't care. It's not enough for me, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I was more like, I'd generally say, it was stuck in limbo, and the expectations weren't even that big. And yet, actually, it didn't even bomb that hard compared to other titles during that year. Like, oh, I have to do all of this again. Fuck. Like, the thing is, ironic.
Do you have an overarching point, or just rambling?
Yeah, I mean, okay. Honestly, the whole. I want to say one thing. I want to get to one point. Dragon Age: The Veilguard bombed, but it didn't. It didn't fall that short of expectations. By the way.
Decide if it bombed or
it
just
didn't,
fall slightly below expectations. Those are different things.
Okay, yeah. You know what? It fell a bit short of expectations, but also it didn't really bomb in terms of money. Sure, they're they're basically putting it in PS Plus right now and such, but
problem is, said several times that it bombed.
You know what? Because a lot of people use the term, and
no.
Okay, here's the thing. It didn't really bomb that much.
Now it bombed again in your
own
words.
Okay, no.
Decide.
Okay, fuck it. Bombing is the wrong word.
Yeah.
Period. Because the thing is, this is what people like to say. It's a failure. It's a complete failure. But in reality, the main problem EA had that year was their football game wasn't selling a lot. Not their RPG game. The RPG game, fell short of expectations, but also it didn't fall that short of expectations.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. The game didn't make the money they expected it to do, or sold as much as they expected it to do in the first month. They didn't really say actually, this was a failure, but, failure in the sense of it didn't meet expectations, not this game actually cost them horrendous amounts of money and they never made it back. I think the reason why they're, aggressively selling it right now is a thing they do a lot of times. Because they hope that with time, more people will play it because, hey, okay, this is actually not the dumbest marketing tactic, because you know what? Which game saved that? Titanfall 2. Okay, sorry. I want to, because you're sighing again.
Yeah, I'm sighing a lot.
Yeah, the thing is, them eating it out now is not, I mean, yes, it didn't make the money they want to, but also...
Like the fifth time you said that.
Okay.
That's what I mean. You're just talking in circles.
Okay. Let me put it like this. If you put a game on PS Plus very shortly after release, it also it depends what kind of game we are talking about. Okay? Because if it's a multiplayer game, they are desperate for new players. If it's a single player game, well, they also are desperate for new players, but on paper, this is less of a profit for them. They do want people to be fans though. Because, going forward, the more people talk about the game, the more people will buy it in sales, and this is how they will make back that money. This is a smart move. But also, again, people just don't buy games on launch anymore.
That's... How many times now?
Yeah, oh god.
And actually it's a problem that people pre-order, so no, people shouldn't buy on launch anyway.
Or you know what? Around launch.
No, they should wait, ideally months, so that the industry stops even trying to make lots of money in the first months. Would be a lot healthier in the long run.
How should I argue against that otherwise then you really have no idea how both industries work? Like, even if you
I'm
want
saying
to...
it shouldn't work like that, that's all.
It's just like, it's so weird because yeah, people, again, I think people talk all the time about wanting games, but they never ever talk about actually, getting games.
But you're aware that, for 1.5 hours talk about mostly people not buying games. Right?
Yeah. It was also about the discourse where people just keep being in the mindset of, oh, game companies just aren't aren't releasing games anymore that we like, and then the reality is they do.
Which you said now for 1.5 hours.
I didn't say that for 1.5 hours.
More or less.
I didn't.
Yes. I said down there. I heard. Do you have a new point to make on that topic, or
I wanted to actually get to a point, but
there is no point you're making, except the ones you already did, obviously.
all I want to say is that, just blaming it on game companies is just very short-sighted, because, again, to a degree, we are just looking at a market that is simply, it simply has to shrink because it was insanely overblown. But also, we are looking at a thing, we're looking at a phenomenon where people, and I would say this, they definitely have money for games if they plan around them. But also, they just don't buy games anymore, except very few ones. Like, buying games seems to have become no, let me say it. Buying games has become somewhat of a social thing. As in, a few years ago, you still bought games for yourself, but now a lot of people seem to buy games when it's, accepted in their social circle. And that's stupid. Like, this goes both ways, because, when everyone went on and on about Elden Ring, a game where I'm like, this is fine, but, like, holy shit, is this overhyped? People kept buying it. It is not really the nature of the hype cycle, I would say. This is like...
Yeah. I mean, it sure seems like the nature of the hype cycle.
I mean, it is to a degree, but, like... unscathed, yes. And we hit dice down, people might not be pushed to spend. You born the very day that Dracula was destroyed. You know what? That's a fucking leap in logic. I mean, honestly, there aren't... Okay, aside from the indie games, there are not that many releases. You can definitely see that there's like 1 or 2 per month, even in certain month groups, but like... Still... Again, great sprite work. What was all that about?
Maybe don't tell the weird guy that wants to inherit Dracula's power that you have the power to rule.
Yeah. Finally made it to the clock tower. I mean, that's an interesting thing to say, that money doesn't go far with games, considering games is like, if you want to have any kind of pastime investment, games are like one hell of a bang for your buck. I mean, seriously, think about that. Even if you if you say, oh hey, but they cost like $60 or so, you still get like a whole lot of things out of them.
Oh, nowadays they cost more.
True, but you still get a lot of time out of them.
You get more out of TTRPGs.
Fair point, but there you need people.
Fair.
Well, it's just, yeah, it's just so interesting to me that, people keep talking about, if they want games to sell, they just need to make good games, and like, you're not even buying the good games.
I mean, it also depends what interests you, etc. And I think people have very odd preferences.
Yeah.
Like, I know that my preferences aren't being catered to, so I know I'm not like a main market share group.
Yeah, I mean...
But like, as you said, for example, Monster Hunter Wilds, relatively broken. Okay, people didn't know that because it came with the first patch.
Interestingly, yeah.
But still very unoptimized, even on PS5. You have some load-in issues.
Yeah.
It still has a weird endgame slot machine. And people did buy it en masse.
And, keep pretending as everything is fine, which is even more surprising to me, because, like, it's not fine. The game has so obvious problems in so many ways. Like...
That's why I'm saying a big group of people have odd preferences. Or at least, with odd I mean mostly, I don't understand the preferences. They're there.
Honestly, but in terms of Monster Hunter, I feel like it is to a degree probably just they really do not want to tell their friend group that is playing it, actually this game is not as good. Because imagine if you do that.
Then you say it's not for you and you don't play it with them.
Right, that's the irony. That's not what people, not only not want to hear. There's this extra layer to it that, a lot of people think if you're saying that a game isn't good, you're ruining the mood. You're ruining the enjoyment of a game, which is like, I'm sorry, how the fuck, if you can't enjoy a game that is, not as good, a lot of people just want the illusion of perfection, not the reality of it's complicated. I mean, there are people out there that generally try to tell everyone, no, Monster Hunter Wilds is actually difficult. And like, no, it isn't. It genuinely isn't. But here's the thing.
I would say if you knew there are like 1 or 2 difficulty spikes, but overall it's still not difficult.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, it's like...
But then again, it depends on how you define difficult. I bet lots of people that never played action RPGs that bought the game, and for them it's probably moderately difficult.
I mean, also it's probably hard to some of them because they... Okay, let's just say something here that probably sounds, might sound insulting to some, but here's the thing. A lot of people suck. And let me put it like this.
Like you, for example, right now at this game.
Yes. But also there's a thing about... People do not want to actually admit they suck. They rather spin it to, games can be hard for certain people, and the answer is just like, no, you just simply suck and you refuse to learn. You play unoptimally, you're bad, and people rather want to hear a game is hard than hear a game is actually easy. You just really, really suck at it. Like, how many people say, oh, Dark Souls is hard, and then they play with absolutely unoptimized builds? Oh, right. Hello. Wait.
You will not. I don't think you will be able to do this with how you play currently.
No, I won't. Shit. That's fine too. Oh, this will take a while.
With your current skill expression, yes.
I am still surprised that I'm like literally in front of death.
I told you the game is pretty fast, depending on which aim you're going for.
No.
You need to figure out a strategy. Yeah. You can melee him pretty easily if you know how, but I don't think you will be able to pull that off right now.
Yeah. It generally is, but like also I don't think I have a better weapon right now. No, I don't. This is so stupid.
You know that it's not about damage, and the battle axe is already damage-wise pretty good.
Yeah. It's more about positioning.
Yes.
No.
Faster weapons? Yes. She does. You know, you're not supposed to tank them, okay? You're not supposed to tank them. Also not sitting in a corner and dying. You hit it, and you know it will spin up to an attack, you walk away. That's how you melee the thing.
Yeah, right.
I know you can do it normally, but right now you...
I thought there was a cheese. I forgot it.
They may be. I don't know. Running into it. Learn the attack pattern, not attacking blindly. Okay?
Yeah.
It's not Monster of the Wilds.
Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah.
Maybe I should use a faster weapon. Yeah.
Well, you could also just use technique.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, so weird. Should maybe do it.
Also, zombie officer is another reaction stuff.
Yeah, I'm not good at that.
Yeah. You still need to jump.
I did press jump.
No, you went in attack animation. It doesn't matter if you press jump. Okay? We could also pause here.
No. If I'm not finishing it today, I will not finish it next Sunday.
You will, because you will have sleep.
I mean, you fucking destroyed that, and you will not.
That's the fault of bureaucracy, okay?
No, that's your fault.
No, bureaucracy's fault. Why you're pressing start?
I can't jump over that. I literally can't. No, genuinely. Also, why don't I have any more healing stuff?
Because you didn't buy any.
That doesn't answer my question. I try to jump in advance.
Your reaction times right now are ass. You're not able to do that.
Fuck you, I get it.
Yeah, sooner or later you will get it.
Yeah. And this will...
But you have 7 minutes, technically.
No, I have more minutes because you stole sleep from me.
If you do the same thing again, you unnecessarily over time, we will probably have more sleep problems. You know that, right?
Still...
Very bad.
Oh, okay, now he just does different attacks.
Yes, he has more than one.
No. What?
You shouldn't run into him.
You know what? This isn't the problem. The problem is that
When
just...
we were awake until 5 a.m., we slept longer. But I think last Monday it was, or was it the week before that?
I think it was the week before that.
Lots of stressful bureaucracy happened, and I was really done. And since then, I've been consistently only sleeping 7 hours. And so now
You're waking me up, and basically you're like, oh, no, you know, I can't sleep anymore. And even if you're like, oh, I let you sleep, you don't let me sleep. You just keep waking me up.
I try not to. Okay? But yeah, that's kind of a problem right now.
I don't want to anymore. Die. This is a shit attempt, and I will do another one. Hey, kill me.
You're getting killed faster if you try to attack it right away. Yeah, it's not that great. That's also why I was tired basically the whole week. At like 17, 18, I'm basically done with the day.
Yeah.
I had days where I was just for hours watching videos because I couldn't get anything else done.
Yeah. By the way, I'm like...
But now it kind of gets to you.
What the worst part about this is?
About what?
About this fight? That there isn't even a goddamn teleporter.
So?
I can't just go back.
No, kill it.
Probably now you're like, oh, it's not that hard. And then,
Of course it's not that hard. It's a difficulty spike though.
You want to try?
It's your stream.
Still, I just want to...
I can't give you the courtesy you do. I get to the toilet and you beat the boss.
No, that's not how it works.
Maybe you should use a better ability since you're not managing that one that well.
Still... Yeah, I can't...
No,
I couldn't even see him.
Yeah, that's your fault. Because you know he goes back a bit after he goes forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
We need to keep him in vision. Why do you use Boer?
Like, the other thing I have is flying armor.
Boer is an active ability to manage. You need to turn it on and off at the right moments. And you're trying to use it as a shield, and you're not even using it well for that. So you're losing lots of damage. So don't use Boer. Don't care about that.
Okay.
Get some good attacks in. Play safe.
Nah, that's... I fucking...
Yes?
I fucked up attacking and jumping.
Yes. If you want to do it that way, you need to jump first.
Oh, I need to leave this behind. But like, I don't want to fucking end it on this.
Why?
Because this is stupid.
That's fair, that's what most people do.
No, because like
No, that's what most people do. They have a hard time for whatever reason, and then they sleep. Next time, they come back better.
I can also just go and grind some levels.
That doesn't help.
I can kill the scythe faster.
No, you can't. Your problem is that you take every trash damage you can.
I don't think other weapons would help a lot because the hammer is worse. The hunting is shit. They're just such a...
For you, I think a faster weapon would be better because you don't get locked into the animation.
I mean, honestly, I don't think that's the case because like the biggest
It
problem
is the case.
the biggest problem I have is in the second phase. I can't even hit the guy. He's just behind his scythe. I would need the arrows.
You have arrows.
Yeah, I will also use that.
I mean, it's still not a problem even without arrows, but you have arrows.
Yeah, I will leave it at that. Oh god, why do I have so many problems with death?
Because you're tired?
Yes, but also I don't want to. I want to beat death.
Right now, he sickles you.
Anyway, hope you all had fun. We will continue here next time. Hope this is going better then.
And I hope until
Then-
next time, we get some proper sleep.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. No matter when we go to bed, I sleep for 7 hours.
Yeah, and then you wake me up.
Because I need to go to the toilet.
But then you can't go back to sleep and you have to annoy me. Anyway, have a good night everyone and see you all on Wednesday for... I will see what is on Wednesday. Bye.
Bye.